Hello, everyone. This is Social Sonia, and I'm here with Marshal Gillen. Marshall, how are you?
I am very excellent. Hello. It's such an honor to be here. I'm excited for this today, and we're about to give a ton of value. So if
Yeah,
you've ever wanted to speak, stay tuned.
yes, that's for sure. Marshall, I'm really honored for you to actually be here and give me your time. I know you're a very busy guy because you speak everywhere now, right?
I've
So,
been doing a lot. I've been doing a lot of speaking. I just got back from one about 30 minutes ago. Another event.
right. So I actually saw that a little bit on your Facebook page, and it was very, very touching story. So I definitely want to hear about it. But before that, please tell people what do you do and why you want to talk to them about the speaking.
Yeah, of course. Well, first off, like I said, thank you so much for having me. And Social Sonia, I love the brand, I love the image, and I just love all the hard work that you're putting into it. So before I tell people what I do, I just want to say to everybody that follows you that you guys, it's not so much even what she's saying. You guys watch what she's doing every day. She's showing up. She's putting in the effort. She's connecting with people like me, and she's really working her butt off to bring you guys a ton of value. So if you guys want to know what success looks like, keep following her. Okay, that's first thing. Second thing is my name is Marshal Gillen. I'm a storytelling speaker and I'm a speaking coach. So really what I do is I tell my story, my own personal story, and I do that in hopes that I can inspire other people, but really my message is to save other people's lives because I had a really rough upbringing. I had a bout with attempted suicide a decade ago, and now I'm on this mission to save a billion lives who will save a billion lives. And people hear that and they're like, "Oh, that's a pretty audacious goal, Marshall." And to me, I think that I'm going to be able to achieve it through the power of storytelling. And I just think that I wish that more people would get vulnerable and empathetic and share their real life true story because you have no idea how many people out there are listening and watching. And for me, Sonia, that's why it's been such an honor to really develop a speaking career. Because sure, I sell products and services in the back end. That's my business. But I show up on a mission every day, and I just am so blessed and humbled to be able to use speaking as my profession because it becomes my platform for this mission that I'm on and change. So it's just an incredible honor.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your story. You guys, once we are done with this interview, I wanted to go ahead and check on Marshall Gillen and check his latest story. I was really touched by it, and that's pretty much what he is and who he is and what he is about. And that's really inspired
Thank
me
you.
to actually tell me a little bit about that story. So you said this is my job, and this is what I want to do, right? What I'm doing.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about it and how that brings you to actually making career with. While you're talking, I will be sharing this in my group everywhere else.
Yeah.
Guys, go ahead. Please say hi to Marshall and me.
Yeah.
I mean, and please share this with other people as well.
Yeah. So check it out, guys. So I'm going to share this story with you, but I just want to say before I tell you this story that if you guys have any questions at all that I can help you with, about speaking or telling your story, please comment below. Please get the engagement. And yes, because I want the video to go to the top. But like, look, if I'm being really honest, like I charge like I charge a lot of money just for an hour call with me. So this is an opportunity for you guys to like ask me anything you want and have access. So let's do it, man. I'm here
Yep.
and I'm excited for you guys. So this is the story. And for me, I had this man. I had a struggle growing up, and I was mentally and emotionally abused as a child. And by the time that I was 23, I had such an image of myself that was so bad because I was told I was so bad for so long by my stepfather that I matured into an adult, I battled with addiction, drugs, and alcohol, and I really just felt completely alone, and I felt like nobody could understand, and I felt like I couldn't connect with anybody, and there was just really no point to going on in life. And when I was 23, then I had tried to attempted suicide. And by the grace of God or the universe or whatever it is that you believe in, I woke up the next day, and that's the turning point. But that's only when the journey began because I made a decision that next morning that I had to change my life and I had to start understanding how to get more value from my life. So it went out to be like a 4 year struggle on this journey to pull myself up. And by the time I was 27, I found entrepreneurship. And I had tried everything under the sun. I've done all these crazy jobs and all this stuff. And one day, after 4 years of trying, just nothing was working. And I couldn't figure it out. And I just stopped one day and I was like, man, what am I really good at? And the only thing I could think that I was really good at, I said, man, I'm really good at talking. I said, how can I make money talking? And I started studying the world of speaking. Now, here's the problem. And this is why I love what I do, because this is the same problem that everybody that wants to speak seems to have in the beginning. I decided that I wanted to be a speaker 4 years ago. 4 years ago, and I didn't get started until just about a year ago. And now here's why this is important, you guys, because for the longest time I had these stories in my head that said, well, I can't be a speaker. I don't have a story. I have nothing to talk about. Nobody's going to listen. I'm not qualified. What gives me the right? All these crazy things. And today, what I want to do and why she brought me here and why I'm excited to connect with her and be able to share with you guys is because I want to create that space today for you guys out there to understand that each and every one of you has a story inside of you. And if you're willing to get vulnerable and share that story in a way that serves others because you just want to help them get better, then you're going to have a lot more stuff that you want out of your life. And it's not just speaking. Now, here's what I mean, because I grew up poor. I never had a lot of money. And by the time I had struggled all the way through my attempted suicide into my 20s and going into my 30s, I was like, I knew what I wanted to do, but I just couldn't figure it out. And I felt lost still. Now, I didn't feel suicidal anymore, but I felt lost. And it was just as equally pointless because I was like, well, I still don't understand what the point of life is. And then one day I heard this lesson, and it was this billionaire talking, and he was talking about how he's going to make illness optional. He's like, I'm going to make illness optional. We're making it. We're studying it, and it's crazy because they're really going to do this. This guy's name is Naveen Jain, and I'm listening to Naveen sit in the stool and tell the story. This billionaire, this complex problem, and he's talking about with such simplicity. And he stopped at one point and he said, and this is where everything came together for me in my life. And this was this is like a year ago.
That was a trigger.
All this stuff I couldn't figure out. He said, look, he said, whatever it is whatever problem that you want to solve in life, just make a business out of the solution. And I don't know why that message hit me so hard, but I just, in that moment, I go, oh, I'm like, oh my gosh. I go, duh, of course. And in that moment, I go, suicide. I said, it's been 10 years 10 years ago, I tried this, and I've never talked about it because I'm ashamed of it, because I'm embarrassed of it, and I don't want anybody to ever know that about me. And when he said that to me, I knew in an instant. I said, you know what? I said, I got to figure out how to share that. And then another coach another time had told me that my mess is my message. He said, look, whatever mess you've been in your past, he said, you turn that into a message and you can save lives. So when I took that and I combined it with the lesson I learned from Naveen, I said, okay, I need to be a speaker and I need to speak out about suicide awareness. Now, here's the beautiful thing, and I know that you know this because you're on the same path to success too, Sanya. And this is the thing, is that when you guys make up your mind that you want to accomplish something in life and you set the goal, you absolutely, and I mean this, you absolutely do not have to know how you're going to do it. That is not what counts. We all have these goals and these plans and these visions and these dreams, and we go, well, I would do it, but I don't know how to. And then we shut down our minds and we never get the opportunity to find the answer. This is what I've learned, is that when you show up with a heart to serve and you show up with a message that truly just wants to give back, and you set that vision and you make that goal, you don't have to know how, because the how just starts to unfold before you. And what the how was for me was, I just decided I'm just going to start sharing my story. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm just going to start the conversation. I'm good at talking. I'm just going to use my one talent that I'm good at, and I'm just going to start the conversation, and we'll go from there. So with shaky hands and a little fear in my heart, I put up my Marshall Live, and I shared my story for the first time, and it was just overwhelming how much support I got. People that were messaging me, Marshall, you changed my life. Marshall, thank you so much for that. Marshall, I'm going to hurt myself. Can you help? Just amazing things. Now, why this is important is because it's crazy. So this is what I do. You know that. And for your audience, I go on podcasts, I do lives, I do stand on stage, and I spread my message of telling your story. And that's how I know I'm going to save a billion lives, who save a billion lives, because I plant that seed, then people go out and they tell it. But this is why this is cool. I just want to share this with your audience real quick. I actually, and I do this every day, but yesterday I was on a couple podcasts, and I had two people yesterday who reached out to me and said, Marshall, thank you so much for sharing your story. I have a big story. I wish I could share it too. And then this morning, I got messages and screenshots from these two people of people that messaged them after they went live, and they were like, oh my God, here's another one too. They're like, oh my God. They're like, how, Marshall, I shared my story and these people reached out and they said thank you. And now these people are invigorated and they're excited for life. And I know it sounds like all kumbaya and like and cliche, but it really is incredibly powerful what happens when you're willing to get vulnerable and share your story. So that's kind of the background. That's what I do. And today I just had another opportunity to give my heart to an organization that I've partnered with, that, you know, combats human sex trafficking. And they have built orphanages for the little children between the ages of 5 and 15 that have been victims of human sex trafficking. And today to get an opportunity to stand on a stage and lead that was absolutely incredible. Now, look, my story doesn't matter to you guys, but what I'm saying is 18 months ago, I was not speaking. I had never spoke before. I had no experience. I had no money. I had no audience. I had never done a live video. I mean, I'd never done any of this 18 months ago. And I just made a decision in my life that I was going to change. And I wanted to serve other people. And I made a decision that I wanted to save me, right? That's what the story is. You guys don't have to worry about saving the whole world. You just need to wake up every day and save you from last year, save you from 5 years ago, save you from 10 years ago, because you from 10 years ago needs you today.
Right.
And there's a whole world of yous out there. There's 8 billion people in the world. So if you just wake up and serve the old you every day, which is what I decided to do 18 months ago, I lifted my phone up. I said, hey guys, my name is Marshal Gillen. This is my journey to becoming a highly paid public speaker. I might fall flat on my face. I don't think I will, but I welcome you to join me. I made a live video every single day, built around my heart and what my cause was. And now 18 months later, you know, I've built a 6-figure speaking and coaching business. I'm standing on stages. I'm impacting lives, and I'm getting a chance to give back and really save lives. And cool, like, pat on the back, but that's not what I'm saying it for. I'm saying that not to impress you, but to impress upon the audience that you guys like, oh my gosh, we have social media now. And if you have a message and you want to go out and change the world, like, you can do it. And not only that, like, you can make a lot of freaking money doing it as well.
Yes. Oh my gosh. You are just like, I don't know. I just heard so many things from you by now. I don't know even what to ask you first. You're so inspirational. It's just amazing. I mean,
oh, thank you so much.
One thing that you're sharing your story, and that might be very touching for somebody. So I want to ask you, can everybody share a story based on what they're doing? For example, you know, many people, they have different businesses. Will the story affect their business? Like, how do you see, you know, that many people say, I don't want to share these about me because if I do, maybe some clients will, you know, leave me or things like that, right? So tell me about it.
So this is the thing. Look, we have one life to live. And this is not right or wrong. It's not good or bad. It's just this or that. And you can be this or you can be that. For me, I want to work with people who are just like me. I want to work with people who are aligned with me, who want the same goals, who have the same visions. So why does that matter? Well, one, before we get into should you and how should you share your story, the thing of it is that if you're, this is what I tell people, because Sonia, the number one reason that I keep finding when I start working with people, the number one reason they're not speaking or that they're not making live video is because they're scared what people are going to think. Yes. They're scared what people are going to say. And this is a great question to start off with, because this is what I always tell people. And this is what I'll tell you guys now. If you are scared, or if you are working with people who you're scared to share your message with, and you know in your heart of hearts that it's big and you want to get it out, then that's the number one sign that you either have a network that doesn't have the right people in it, or that you're working with the wrong kind of client. Because there is never a time in your life where you should feel ashamed or guilty for wanting to share your message if it truly is meant to help people.
Yeah.
And that's what I truly believe. So that's first and foremost. Now you ask, okay, well, what does my story have to do with my business? Look, you guys, the story is not necessarily the business. People don't care if you're winning or losing. People care that you're taking action. They just want to be inspired, because most people aren't taking action. So when I can look at Sonia and I can go, man, you know what? She might not have $1 billion yet, but look at, she's taking action every day. Man, I think I can do that. She does it, I'm going to do it. And that's the power you guys have as business owners. So when we share our stories, it's not trying to create content. We're just documenting our day. That's all we're doing. Every day I go live. People go, oh, how do you make lives every day? Well, because every day I'm just growing, I'm just living my life. I'm trying to be an entrepreneur. And every day I just find 5 minutes to go, hey guys, what is going on? Today was awesome. Oh man, you guys, today was really, really hard. Oh, today this guy did this and I'm super mad. You guys, oh, Shannon surprised me today and I'm so in love with her. Like, just document your day. People will pay attention to what you're doing. Now, look, if you're a dentist, if you're a coach, if you're a speaker, if you're whatever, a mechanic, a plumber, I don't care what you do. The point of it is that when you share your open, when you're open and vulnerable, and you share that empathy with your audience, it attracts people to you. It inspires people, and it positions you as an authority and as a leader in their mind. Now, look, of the people who are attracted to you, some of them are going to need your service or product. And that's how you make money sharing your stories. It's because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And you can let them know how much you care by sharing your story. You know, there's that quote, facts tell, stories sell. So if
Yes.
you guys want to know how to instantly sell more for your business right now, like literally right now today, whether it's a post, a blog, a vlog, anything, whatever you do, just put a short story in front of whatever your call to action is, and you're going to watch your sales increase already. If you guys aren't telling stories in your business yet, you absolutely should be.
And so, how do we go about it? So can anyone be a speaker, or how do we go about sharing our story and becoming a speaker?
Yeah,
So obviously, I have done. I told you a little bit about. I have done workshops in my local community, and I
yeah,
spoke twice in New York City. Right, so one was a little bigger event, one was a little small event, but I had experience with that, and I did have some experience in a college, and absolutely love stage. That's where I feel amazing. I feel inspired. It's my energy. I feel like I'm on top of the world. I'm
right.
actually that's my roller coaster. That's what I enjoy. Um, but sometimes, I always ask, like, oh, what is the topic I should be talking about? Right? Should it be like talking about business? Should it be talking about more
Right.
personal stories? So because I do love both. So how do you go about it?
So that's a really, really good question. This is why most people get hung up and they get stuck on. And I'll give you guys some super ninja tips. So let's talk about speaking. And you have to understand is that this is the mistake that people think is they go, oh man, I want to go be a speaker. Okay, great. Well, what do you want to speak on? Well, I'll speak on vulnerability, for example. Or I'll speak on vulnerability. Cool. Do you want to sell a product or service? Do you want to speak to sell, or do you want to get paid to speak? Oh man, I want to get paid to speak. Okay, so you want to speak on vulnerability and you want to get paid to speak. Yeah. Okay. Well, who's going to book you and who's going to pay you to speak on vulnerability? And people go, well, I don't know. See, this is where people get hung up. Okay. And this is where most people fail as a speaker. First off, you have to truly have to decide whether you want to be a professional speaker or if you want to speak for your business. Now, hey, what's going on, Catherine? This is who should speak. Any business owner that wants more leads or wants to close more sales should be speaking for their business. That's first and foremost. Now, the next step is to decide, are you going to be a professional speaker or are you just going to speak? Because the difference is there's really two sides of the world to the speaking world. Over here on this side, we have entrepreneur events, or let's just call them public events, right? On this side of the speaking world, we have public events. Now, when I say public events, I want you guys to think like a Tony Robbins event, or an event I go to, Thrive, or 10X, or Funnel Hackers. Those are public events. Those are run by entrepreneurs. Here's the thing: nobody on this side of the world is getting paid to show up and speak. I mean, Tony Robbins and like maybe Damon John, Robert Herjavec maybe, but other than that, nobody is paying people to speak at one of these entrepreneur events. When you show up to one of those events, you're expected to have a product or a service to sell. It's called speak to sell. Now, here's the problem. On the entrepreneur side of the world, you can talk about things like mindset. You can walk into an entrepreneur event and you can talk about wanting to make $1 million. You can talk about law of attraction and vulnerability over here. That's cool. Now on the other side of the world is where the professional speakers work.
Right.
And on this side of the world is where corporations and associations
Okay.
hire you to speak. So that's the first thing. And if you guys, the problem is that most people, when they try to move from the entrepreneur world to the corporate world, they fall because you can't talk about the same things in the corporate world that you can in the entrepreneur world. So that's the first thing. You just have to decide how you're going to go about it, because it's different. It's way different booking gigs over here than it is booking gigs over here.
Yes. Okay. So that's a very good thing. Especially I do struggle with that as well. I always think like, okay, so what should I do? I am so many, like I'm multi-passion person. Now everybody's like, focus on one thing, but I am simply multi-passion person, right? And it took
Yeah.
me a long time to realize it's not a bad thing because I was always saying, hey, how come I can be so passionate about so many things? I simply love it. And just like my audience can be different and at different times, right? And
Yeah,
a lot of
absolutely.
yes, love that you just said I can go to corporate, talk about ads, Facebook ads, which I do a local community, social media. I talk about ideal client avatar. I talk about how to, how to become, how to get out of the conferences the most you can, right? So they're all
Right.
topics to cover. So I can do this all and pick my audience and timing for it, right? And that makes me feel amazing right now because that's exactly like that. Woo!
Right.
Right?
So
I can just be all right.
right. Well, I'm sorry.
I don't need to like really pick, what I really want to do. I can be all at different times.
Right. And it's true. And this is the problem though, and I love where you're at because I'm the same way too. I'm like, I can talk about a million different things, but again, when you're moved into the corporate side of the world, you have to keep in mind that what are corporations actually going to pay to bring in, because there's so much red tape on corporations. Like there's the HR department, you can't say this, and the employees can't do that. So when we're forming talks for the corporation, a lot of times people will be like, well, I'm going to talk about social media. I love it and corporations need it, but the problem is that right now there's probably not a lot of corporations out there that are paying for it. Now that's going to change really soon because social media is like pretty much on the bubble. But let's just say, like, for example, mindset or added like mindset. You can't talk about mindset, but what if you change the talk to attitude, right? That's something that, do follow these 5 steps to have a better attitude in the workplace. So not shutting you down. I'm just saying I want everybody to think about this over here on this side when you guys are coming and you guys are developing your signature talks. What is an actual public corporation going to pay to have a speaker come in and talk about as it applies to helping the workforce? Because they don't want you to come in and talk about entrepreneurship. Oh, hey, quit your job and follow your dreams. Like they won't want you to do that. So that's just a little tidbit. That was my whole issue with the 10x growth con. Everyone was pitching a product. Yeah, mine too, Phil. The
Yeah, that's
product,
good.
did you
Like
go to that, Sonia?
I actually didn't. I really want to go to GrowCon. That's another
Yeah.
conference I have. It's on my bucket list.
I mean, I love Grant. I love Grant, and the production of that event was just like mind blowing. But I'm with Phil, man. They had like 30 speakers over 3 days, and like 27 of them pitched like super super hard, and it was like a crowd full of salespeople. So even when I wasn't in the thing, I was like getting sold like from all angles. So for salespeople, it's the best sales event that there is. I'm not a big salesperson, so for me, the alignment was a little off, but the production value was freaking like a rock concert, and it is something for me to aspire to throw someday, to be certain. Grant came in, he dropped in something from the freaking ceiling to open the event up. Like
Yes,
the music was playing, the lights were going, and
like a
he was
Beyonce,
lowered
right?
in from the ceiling. Oh, dude, I was like, what? I was like, that's so gangster, Grant. It was
I know. I
awesome.
saw it because few of my friends they actually recorded and shared it.
Oh,
So
that's
I was like,
cool.
oh my gosh, I really want to be there now. It was just
Yeah,
like such a teaser, but definitely it's on my bucket list. I want to go. I
go
go to
go
conferences.
go
I go to a lot
experience
of
it.
conferences. Yeah,
Have you
but
have you ever been have you ever been to Thrive?
nope, tries another
Oh,
one. I actually am going to Messenger conference in September. So I always speak based on what I'm working on. Right now, I'm really developing skills, regards to Messenger. So I like to connect with Messenger people and be like,
absolutely.
yeah, so that's how I am. And I like to pick
You see,
based on what I'm working at the moment.
I told you guys, follow this lady. She's super, super smart. She's not successful by accident.
Yeah, so and I actually conferences are my thing. I say conferences for entrepreneurs is like it's like a night out, right? You go
100%.
energy, you're going out with amazing people, they're all brilliant, they all want to achieve more, and it's like the best, best
Isn't it the
environment.
best? If you guys are watching this and you guys have never been to a conference, I'm telling you, go to an entrepreneur conference, pick one and go. It'll change your life. That she's right, man. The energy and the environment is just electric. It'll set you on fire.
Yes, yeah, I mean, you know what, I'm just telling you, conferences are way to go if you really want to network and build a business.
And
And
where?
That's why I am so inspired by you, because you are talking about speaking, because obviously I'm a conference goer and organize my own events and spoke on 2 other events, but I want to speak. I want to be on that Grant Cardone stage. How
Right.
do people go about it, right? How do
Yeah.
people get more opportunities and more gigs? Right now, you are sharing with me different things, and I want you to tell me a little bit about how can I create a story. Walk me through that process a little bit if you want to share that with me. And also, I want to tell me, when we finish this interview, what should I do to actually get more speaking opportunities, and what will be my first or second step or something, whatever you want to share with me.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, obviously, you guys' first step should be working with me. But the second step, if you guys aren't going to do that, I'll share that when we get to the end. So, the really look at this is what the deal is, you guys. Again, you have to decide if you're going to be a professional speaker or if you're just going to speak for your business. If you're going to be a professional speaker, that means you're going to have to make marketing materials and packets, and you're going to have to mail them out to thousands of event coordinators across the country or globally. You're going to have to start messaging and getting on the phone with a lot of people, which look, this is what I do. I'm trying to move in. I'm not trying. I'm moving into the college market right now so I can share my story about suicide, with college kids and, the whole thing. So that's something that I'm going to be doing. Now, again, you guys, if you want to be, that's a business that you're going to have to learn, and it's not hard, but you just have to learn it. But I'm just telling you guys, if you want to speak professionally, everybody want to get paid to speak. That's fine. You can get paid to speak, but you have to speak over here in the corporate world. You have to make connections with the people who actually hire you and book you. Over here, let's talk about the entrepreneur world. So when we're talking about the entrepreneur world, look, you guys, you want to know who books speakers? Other speakers. Look, people aren't going to these. People aren't paying. Like Thrive is the event that I love. I'm part of the Thrive Mastermind, so I'm just going to reference that. I have no affiliation to them, you guys, other than it changed my life. But just to make it easy. So, for example, when I go to Thrive this September, what's going to happen? There's going to be a bunch of people there. There's going to be Ty Lopez and Grant Cardone and Lewis Howes, and there's going to be all these people. And we as entrepreneurs, we go, oh man, I want to get paid to speak, and we see Grant Cardone stand on stage, and we go, oh man, Cole probably paid Grant to be here. The chances of that, and I don't know this, I don't have any inside information, but I know that by and large in the entrepreneur world, that's just not how it works. Cole is friends with Grant. Grant is friends with Cole. Cole will speak at Grant's thing and Grant will speak at Cole's thing. It's like a trade-off. And the reason that is because in the speaker world, in the world over here, you sell your own products and services. And it's standard what they call a 50-50 split. So when I sell my product, the event organizer keeps 50%, I keep 50%. So that's why if you want to speak on big, grand stages, you're going to have to start making connections. It's not something that's going to happen right away. It's something that's going to happen over time. And what that means is that you're just going to have to make those connections. Now, I'll give you guys a few tips on how to network up. And the thing of it is, you guys got to remember is that my phone is getting too hot. Let's move over here for a second. What you guys have to remember is that it's about making connections. So we have social media these days, you guys. We have access to connect with these influencers directly. So the tips, I'll give you some tips that I suggest that you follow. And it's how networking is how I got to where I'm at. I just kept networking. I went on a blitz of events. And what I did is I had and I can't believe I'm not wearing it now, but I have it up.
I just want to stop you for a second because I just want to make sure everybody hears what you just said. And this is what I've been telling. This is why I have been doing the group.
Please.
Yeah, so you just said networking and events is what really helps you to pull yourself out and even now teach others how to do the same. So I want everyone to understand that this is where it is right now. So I want to say, everybody, you should be in my Conference for Entrepreneurs group, because everybody in this group is people that want to be speaking, or they are speaking, or that are going to conferences. That people that you want to network with, right? So, and I definitely want to hear exactly what you're about to say next.
Yeah. So this is the thing. Just to finish that off, there is not a single thing in my life more responsible for my success than the power of association. Period. That is it. So what you just said and what she's getting at, you guys, is look, why do you want to join her group? Because it's what Napoleon Hill talked about in Think and Grow Rich. It's the mastermind principle. 2 minds, or 2 or more minds, working towards the same goal to achieve a definite purpose. You guys know how freaking powerful that is? When you're sitting here all alone by yourself and you're like, oh man, there's no way I could even imagine how to get that done. I'm telling you, you could sit down with one other person who's just as
Yes.
dedicated and trying to figure out like you, and there's a magic that happens. There's something in the universe that clicks, and the power of association will change your
Yep.
whole life. So
Yes. And that's the same.
that
And I
be,
think what you just said, the same vibration. Everybody's at the same vibration energy. And you
oh,
turn
that's
around, you
so
ask
right.
how to do Facebook ads. You turn around, how to do, landing page. How do I make a Facebook Live? You turn around and somebody has answer in that small
That's
space.
it.
Yep.
That's it. That is the game changer that people, that's like the life just like a cheat code. I always tell people I'm gonna tell you guys how I hacked my way to where I'm at right now. It's a life hack. I hacked my way here by collaborating, by leveraging relationships, by going to networks, power of association. I just learned a skill and I just started to meet as many people as I possibly could and start sharing it with them. So this is how I started my business. I looked around and I said, man, I have social media. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start talking. I'm going to start making live video. I'm just going to start talking about whatever it is that I'm most passionate about at the time. Literally, I had no experience, you guys. I just pushed the button, and people started to be attracted to me. So that was the first step. What I did is I created a brand online. I put a nice cover photo up. I had a nice bio under my Facebook picture. I had some pictures placed. I had a link to a landing page. I was set up. I had a system that makes me look good. So when people go to my web page or go to my Facebook page, they go, oh man, this guy looks like a professional. He looks like an authority. That was step one. Step two was to couple that look with live video content. So after I had the look, I just started every day learning as much as I possibly could about storytelling and speaking. I just learned and learned and learned. And every day I would learn a little bit something else. I would push the button live and I'd say, hey, what's going on, everybody? Marshall live. And this is what I learned today. And I would just tell people what I learned and I would answer their questions. And I did this every single day. What happened was people started to see my profile. They assumed I'm some kind of authority because I'm going live and I have an optimized profile. And they go, dang, this guy must be really good. Now keep up because this is where it all changes. Then last September, I said, you know what the problem is I'm not connecting with enough high-level people. And I made a commitment live to my audience at the end of whatever month come August. And I said, this next month, I'm going to go to as many events as I possibly can locally and nationally. And I'm going to level up. And for the last year, I think I started off at ClickFunnels, a private event for influencers. There's like 100 of us there. And we and that was the whole thing started. And I went on a blitz. I think I went to like 15 different networking events in September. And I
Wow.
made, so this is the deal. This is how
That's a lot. So,
yeah,
and this is why there's no surprise you are like skyrocketing right now. Everywhere
right,
you're in everybody's news feed, you're constantly
right.
somebody's clicking on your post. And this is how you build the brand and become more visual and get more stages, connecting and showing up and being present. So it's
Right.
brilliant.
So I'm gonna give you guys some stuff that say I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to because I love you guys and I respect my friend for being so awesome. So I'm actually gonna give you guys some content right now that I have gated behind paid stuff. So this is where you guys want to pay attention because this is part of my millionaire networking strategy, and this is what's allowed me to network with literally millionaires and billionaires and learn and grow from them, sit right next to them. So after I had the optimized profile and I did the live videos, what I did next was I got really really good at being a connector, at being a facilitator. So what I did was I went on this networking blitz. Now, Sonia, you've seen it before, and if you guys can see my profile picture here, I'm wearing a blue shirt that says I'm live. I wore that shirt every single day. I got a couple of those shirts every day, everywhere I went, every video I made. And then I leveraged social media. So I'd look at an event like Thrive and I'd say, okay, who's at Thrive that I want to connect with? Okay, Ty Lopez, all these high level people. And what I would do is the month leading up or the week leading up, I would interact with all of their content all the time, thoughtful, responsive. Now, would they see most of them? No, but sometimes they would see them. And what would they see? They would see Marshall live with his blue shirt. I'm live over and over and over and over. And then what did I do? Then I would go to the conferences, and when I go to the conferences, they would be standing on stage. And what do all the speakers do when they get done talking? Does anybody have any questions? And then what happens? I'm always the first person to shoot up because I had a question ready to go because I went with an intention to connect with higher level people. Now,
Yeah.
what I would do is I would do that, and as soon as they asked for questions, I would skyrocket up, and I would have somebody videotape me asking the question, and
Mm-hmm.
then they would see my blue shirt and they'd be like, I recognize you. Now that still doesn't mean anything, right? But there's two
Yeah.
things that happened there. Is that one, I'm at least on the radar, and now I have video content of me that I can leverage back on social media for people to go, oh damn, Marshall was talking to Ty Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
Now the next step is once Ty's off stage or whoever it is, Cole Handler, right? I just went and started making friends with their quote unquote handlers, their assistants, their family members, and then you follow up and you become friends with them on social media, and that's how you're going to get in to higher level people. You got to get in with the people who keep them insulated first. That's high level people. Let me give you one more strategy at events that is also the game changer. That's how I started to level up for high level people, but how I started to build my business was I learned how to serve people. And I know that you guys know that, but this is the networking strategy. Is that everybody always goes and they have a stack of 100 business cards and they want to hand out 100 business cards. The problem is nobody cares about your business card and you're not making a real connection when you're just handing it to them. I go to business events with 0 business cards because I always make an intention of like, all right, I'm going to make 10 or 20 really, really solid connections. And
Mm-hmm.
this is what I do. And this is the ninja tip right here, you guys. This is how you get people to talk about your business. First off, you have to understand is that people love talking about themselves the most. That's what they want to do. And if you want to get more business, learn to ask good questions and then shut up and let people talk about themselves. And at the end of it, you're going to walk away having said 2 words. And later in the event, they're going to go, oh, look, there's Marshall. Man, I like that guy. I want to go talk to him some more, right? So this is what you do. When you go out, set the intention to really connect with people. And I will look for my ideal client. I'll go and I'll meet them and I'll introduce who I am and I'll immediately reflect the conversation back to them. Hey, what are you working on these days? What's important to you right now? What's important to you that made you come to this event? And I'll let them talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And as soon as they're done, I'll say, hey, that's great. Let's stay connected. I connected them on Facebook or whatever my favorite social platform is. I don't take their business card. And when people ask me for one, my classic line is whatever year, bro, it's 2018. Who still uses business cards? Let's connect like real people. And they go, oh yeah. Boom, pattern interrupt. So now I've let them talk about themselves. I've pattern interrupt them. I've connected them to my Facebook, which when they get on it, they see all the live video and they see the branded profile and they go, oh, damn, this guy must be some kind of expert. Now, here's the part. I go and I do this to everybody. I do this to all my 25 people. And then when I'm all done, all I do is I think about all the 20 people I met. I go, out of the 20 people I met, how can I pair them together to help each other the most? So then the second half of the day, I go back. I go, hey, Nick, come over here. Meet my friend John. John, meet Nick. And then I walk away and I let them talk. And I pair people up throughout the networking event just like this. And at the end of the day, I literally didn't talk to anybody, really. I didn't really teach them anything. And at the end of the day, I have a whole entire room of people talking about me, going, yeah, that Marshall guy, he's actually pretty cool. And then they get online and they see me and they're like, this guy's an authority. And then that's it. I just do this over and over and over and over. And over the course of 18 months, it's allowed me to build my business. It's just consistency, you guys. I was a broke bartender, a career broke bartender. I've been to 5 colleges. I have 0 college credits. I grew up on a farm in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing inherently special about me besides I just decided to make a change in my life. And then I just worked smarter and not harder. And that's literally how I changed my life. I just gave you guys the step-by-step play. Like, that's it. You might go,
That's
man, Marshall, that's simple. Yeah, it is simple. It's hard, but it's
and
simple.
so much similarity between us as well. It's love the same thing. Like I love to give value at the conference. Connect.
Right.
As soon as I meet somebody there, connect them. So you become immediate hero to them, right? So I love it. So guys, optimize your page. Make sure you go to networking events. You connect with people, and then you connect people that you met with each other.
Right.
So
Now,
brilliant, brilliant.
I'll just add one more thing. Now to wrap it up, how did I leverage that to speak more? Because you guys, when you're making these connections, you're introducing yourself. Just tell them what you are. I booked speaking gigs because I did this everywhere I went, and I told people I'm a speaker. So when people in their life go, man, we're looking for speakers, or they're having an event, they go, oh man, that Marshall guy's a speaker. He was great. Let's reach out and see if he wants to. This didn't happen. I had to plant the seeds. So if you guys want to know how to book more events, there's definitely way more like inside of my accelerator. I teach people how to book events or book gigs within 30 days. So there's ways to do it that are much faster, but that is literally how I started speaking at events. It wasn't because I wanted to be a professional speaker, just because I wanted to speak more for my business. So just keep that in mind, guys. Whatever you tell people you are, at the conference is what they're going to perceive you as. So my suggestion is to get down your elevator pitch, figure out that exact 30-second pitch that you have so you know how to quickly tell people what you do. And save the technical jargon. Make it so simple a sixth grader can understand it.
That's brilliant. I wanted to share with us the PDF you have that I was so impressed with, and then with I guys already grabbed his little system, and I absolutely love what he do. We are very, very similar in many areas, so I absolutely already know that many things that you just mentioned here, I am actually going to be adding to my already great palette of networking skills.
Perfect. Please.
Yes. So please share with us your PDF, because I want everybody download the PDF and see what this is about. How PDF explains very well how to create a story.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I appreciate it. And I'll share with you guys, what she's referring to is I have a free training that I designed. It's called Launch Your Speaking Career in 30 Days. Now, here's the thing. I want you guys to understand that this guide it's a how-to on how to get out of your own way so you can understand that you're already a speaker. So when you go there and you download the free guide, I want you guys to think, okay, how can I show up more powerfully, and how can I leverage speaking and what Marshal's teaching me to go out and change the world? And I'm so excited that you got value out of it, Sonia. It's just absolutely amazing that you reached out to me, and I feel just honored and humbled. And if you guys want to download it yourself, you guys can visit launchmyspeakingcareer.com and check it out. There's 9 chapters in there. It's only a couple pages long, but again, it's the ideology of what it's going to take for you guys to understand how to tell a story, how to tell your story, and how to leverage that and launch a speaking career. Because look, we have this image in our head of what a speaking career is supposed to be. Trust me, new age speaking is different, and you're going to have plenty of opportunity to stand on stages and rooms and speak, but you got to crawl before you walk.
Because again, guys, if you don't know this, I need to notice. I did notice because I'm like paying attention in this space. I'm watching everything and everybody. The conference area in this space is growing. There are more and more conferences every day, every week, every month. So last year we had less conferences than we have this year. And I already know that next year, I already know what's happening because I speak with all organizers and with all speakers. So I'm watching this space very closely, guys. There are more and more conferences. You have to get your hands on becoming speaker, becoming conference goer, and networking. So everything what Marshall said, that's what you got to be using by now if you are an entrepreneur and you want to grow. So I do want to, Phil has another question. Phil, thank you so much for, I want to everybody for engaging. You guys are awesome. Christopher, Phil, Catherine, you guys are awesome. You have been asking.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us, you guys. It's incredible.
Yes. And so Phil has a question. Have you, how have you used the same face-to-face networking philosophy in the digital realm beyond live videos? How have you, how have you virtually done this sort of networking? Meaning, how have you used the same face-to-face networking in the digital world? Meaning,
yeah. So this is the thing, Phil. Like, how have you used the same face-to-face networking to digital? So look, this is the same thing. I'll show you guys. This is. Let me see if I can find what I'm looking for real quick. Oh shoot! Let me show you guys something. Okay, here we go. I'll show you, Phil. There's no mentality here. I'm in my laundry room now. But I'll show you guys this. This is the mentality I have. So I want you guys to understand something, because there's no difference, right? And when we start off as digital marketers, we think all this stuff like, oh man, there's only one way to do things. Like when we talk about webinars, we go, well, I can do a webinar, but I can't speak on stage. Well, you guys, a webinar is just a sales presentation. It's just in real life. So Phil, this is going to be my answer to your question. It's going to seem kind of silly, but I want you to check this out, because you guys, when we come into the world, look, this is the secret to networking. This is literally the secret to networking and connecting. When we come into the world as babies, we have a bib placed on us, and we have a bib on us because we're always given everything. Everything we want, our parent gives to us. I give to us. That's how life is. So we come into the world as a taker. That's what we're designed to do. Here's the problem. A lot of us never take this bib off. To be successful in networking, in life, in business, in relationships, you got to learn to become a giver and not a taker. You got to take the bib off, and you got to put that napkin from there to here, and you got to show up like this. Now, why does that matter? Because really, there's no secret to networking. It's just showing up to serve. And I don't care what medium I have to serve on. I can serve on a medium in real life, face to face. I can serve on a medium via text, via messenger. I can serve on a medium via podcast. I can serve on a medium like video. The thing of it is, Phil, is that it's just something that's in your heart. You ask, well, how do you apply those same networking philosophies to digital that I do to face to face? It just I show up in the digital space just like I do in real life with this over my arm, and it just comes with patience and taking time. Like, and in the real life, I can use my energy, I can use my rapport building skills, my influence to really quickly move the needle. However, in the digital world, I can't move as quickly. And that's what you guys got to remember. It's just a slower process, but it's still the same thing. You still have follow the Ford model. That's too much. Let's see. How can I explain this to you guys so you guys can, so it's just, you guys understand. You guys are all smart people. You guys get what I'm talking about.
This is amazing analogy, and it's just like stuck with me right now forever. I will never forget. This has such to make sense for people that don't understand, how to actually go out there and serve, whether it's in face to face or whether it's the digital world. I know some people, they love to go networking like me. I love energy, and some people, they're more comfortable being in live when they feel that there's nobody around them. That's really good, whatever works for you. But I love that you the same analogy that you just used. Serve people, that can be used in any way possible. So
100%. Yeah,
that's
the secret to life. Giving is living. It's like that's what our good friend Tony Robbins says, right?
Exactly. So this was amazing share from you, and I really appreciate your time. I don't want to go over. Yes. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for being here and answering all the questions. You are absolutely amazing, and I already knew that, but this just confirmed,
Well, I think what you're doing is really, really important. Again, like, I'm not trying to just, blow smoke up your butt. I really think what you're doing is important, because to you, you might just be running the business and trying to build on social media. But again, you have to understand that the actions you take every day, there's people that you don't even know are watching you, who you're making an impression in their heart and in their brain. And it's just like, when you ask them, like, yep, I got you, girl. Like, let's do this, because I have so much respect for you and what you're creating. So thank you so much for sharing your platform with me. Are you kidding?
Yes, thank you. I appreciate you so much. And everything you said is absolutely true, because I experienced it, or I just felt this happening. I wasn't sure what is it, but it made sense out of everything, what I was experiencing. So please tell us one more time your free training that you are giving us right now, that I already had been going through, and it's pretty much amazing. I want everyone to grab this, and I want you to guys watch closely Marshall, because he has been doing amazing lives, and see where he is heading and follow what he's doing, because you want to learn from him when it comes to speaking.
Yeah, you're too kind. I appreciate you so much. So you guys, if you make it super, super easy, like I said, just go visit www.launchmyspeakingcareer.com and download the free guide. Now, here's the thing, guys. That's a free guide. It won't talk back to you. It's very, very good. But just connect with me on social media. I'm a real person, and I go live daily. So if you guys have questions, if you guys need support, if you guys need somebody to help create space, and look, the only thing I know how to do really good is storytelling. So there's a lot of things I can learn from every single one of you. So please connect with me on social media. Just connect with my profile here. Add me a friend request. I'm running out of space on that list soon. So let's all be friends while we still can.
Yes, and here's the tip, guys. A networking tip right now. I know Phil asked how to do digitally, how to connect from physical networking to digitally. So, guys, if you watch this video right now, this interview, and you pick up on something you really liked, go ahead and message to Marshall and say, "Hey, Marshall, I really love this, and I love how this applies to me." And this is how Marshall will get attention of you, and kind of start probably following you and connecting with you. So this is exactly how you do it.
You're right.
Give him a compliment on whatever he said, not in a way that you want to just give him compliment, but something that really affected you, something that really touched you. So
I'll make this really quick. Phil, let me give you an actual executable, tangible actionable step to take. So how do I translate that? Yes, I show up and I serve, but I make live video. I make content. And here's the thing, guys. I don't know how many of you guys have ever been in network marketing, but when you join network marketing, they always say, make a list of the 100 people you know and message them, because it won't be weird. Yeah, right. It's always weird. Okay. You can't just message people out of the blue because they're like, you're trying to sell me something. Here's why making daily content is important, and why I make daily live content. Because when we make that content, people engage with it. They like it. They love it. They make sad faces, mad faces. They comment, they share. Now, when they engage with your content, that gives you permission to message them, right? And what I say by permission is it's not the weird networking thing where you're just randomly messaging people. When they engage with your content, that gives you a chance to message them. And Phil, that's where you build rapport. You say, "Hey, Sonia, I saw you liked my post today. Thank you so much. I didn't know that you followed like charitable stuff. Do you donate?" "Oh no, yeah, I don't do charity right now." "Oh, are you involved in human sex trafficking?" "Yeah, I am. It's really a big, huge thing for me." "Yeah, me too." Phil, you make the content, and when they engage with it, that gives you the permission to reach out to them in Messenger and just start a conversation with them. And that's literally it. You start the conversation. If you can help them, you help them. If you can't, you can't. You build the relationship, and then you keep doing that over and over again. That's it. Okay, I'm done. That's it. Sorry.
Yes. Thank you so much. Everything was brilliant. Thank you so much, guys.
I'll talk
Follow
to you soon.
Marshall everywhere, and of course follow me everywhere.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys around. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.